What's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you had a great game week. I hope your first game week back after the World Cup went really well for you. It went all right for me. I mean, wasn't the best. I mean, I've seen people with the like 100 plus points and stuff. I guess the FPL hamsters did really affect us because right at the last moment, if you remember, if you were on the last stream with me, I wanted to go with Salah, but unfortunately it wasn't possible because the servers were about to crash, and I was like kind of really worried that if I transferred in Salah, then it could turn really ugly, so I just let it be. In the end, it turned out to be the decision that I was going to make in the end, it turned out to be the right one. I mean, obviously, Salah did score more than KDB, but it's just hindsight, guys. I'm not in one bit worried about the selection or the players that I selected for my team. I'm pretty happy with that. In the end, I think I ended up getting honestly, I didn't even see my 89 points, so I'm pretty happy with that. Back close to 600k, so there wasn't a huge rank jump or anything like that, but it wasn't bad. I think it's a 70k green arrow, so I'm looking to get close to that 100k mark before I can really make really make up the ground towards the target of the season. So anyways, guys, I'm in today's the turnaround times for FPL are kind of getting shorter and shorter because of the World Cup. I mean, the season is kind of gonna be really condensed, so we're gonna have lots of game weeks coming up and stuff. This is the last game week of obviously 2022, so hopefully it goes well for everybody. Hey FPL Sam, hey Jugs, hope you're doing well. So before I begin, I just like to show you my team and just get it done and over with. So obviously Kepa, Cancelo, he came on. I mean, if he didn't come on, wouldn't have made too much difference. I had White on my bench. Trippy obviously did well. Reece James, the talking point of the town, of the FPL city or the FPL community, is such a. I mean, honestly speaking, I mean, so unlucky for Reece James. He came back, we're all expecting big things from this lad, and just comes back and gets injured right away. Very unfortunate to get injured again, and he's out until February, they're saying. So I think most of the questions today on my stream, which I already am anticipating, are going to be about the replacement for James. So I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later as well. So Martinelli, Almiron, Rashford. I mean, it was setting up to be a huge game week, but Kevin De Bruyne, although he played very well, in terms of attacking returns, there was nothing forthcoming. So obviously in hindsight, Salah was the better pick, and I did in the end want to go for Salah as well, but as you already know, due to the server crash, I just I decided against it. Haaland captain did well. Martial had like bucket loads of chances. Couldn't take too many. At least he scored one goal, so I'm happy with that. Maybe if Mitrovic wasn't on 4 yellows, I would consider moving him on to Mitrovic against Southampton or for the double game week. But currently, since Mitrovic is on 4 yellows, it is going to make it very difficult for me to move to Mitrovic. Darwin, as you all know, setting up to be the next Alvaro Morata or Timo Werner. What can you say? I mean, just missed so many chances. I mean, the very first ball, when he actually jumped over the ball, and when Tyrone Mings and the keeper Olsen, they crashed into each other, I could make no sense why he actually jumped over the ball. Darwin, it's absolutely crazy. He's a full box office kind of player, it's everything. 4 big chances he had in that game anyway. So not talking too long about my team, guys. So I got 89 points, doing well. No, nothing nothing too dramatic. So this is about my last game week, guys, and now let's come back and talk about the upcoming game week. Hey Bipin, hey Abu Talib, I hope you're doing well. So guys, I think the best the best way to start this stream would be to address the biggest question right away. And the question, as you already know, it's the Reece James's injury, and what I'm going to be doing about it. See, the thing is, it doesn't have one right answer for everybody. Every team is different, guys. So you have to understand that as well. Not all the teams are the same, right? So you have to kind of decide according to your own your own kind of teams, right? Abhijit says Martinelli was on my bench, I wasn't paying attention. Oh my god, Martinelli shouldn't have been on the bench. Of course, Abhijit, I'm sorry for that. FPL says, are you suggesting to move on Nunes for Havertz? Maybe not this game week, bro. Not this game week. I'm just saying that was absolutely weird the way he missed I mean, the player who's so dynamic, creating so many chances for himself and for his teammates, should not be sold, in my opinion. And I feel that Nunes will come good, but I wouldn't transfer him out just after one game. I loved game week 17. He says, Lee Fisher says 112 points. Wow, that's amazing, my friend. Well done, Lee. I'm so happy for you, bro. Roland says sell Wilson for Mitrovic. That's a good one. I'm gonna let's just address the James things first before I start reading your comments, guys. Let's once and for all just address this thing, right? So, see, Reece James is out until February. That is absolutely clear. From all the press conferences, from all the news that we're getting from the Chelsea camp, it seems clear that he's going to be out for the foreseeable future, or expected back on 3rd February. Let's just take it on face value what the FPL guys have written here. So, how to replace him, right? The first thing you can do is exactly what I'm doing right now, and just put him on the bench. And the thing is, why I put him on the bench is that I want to have 2 transfers next week, and so that I can make 2 transfers and have more information about how the players are playing in game week 18, who's performing good, who's not performing well, which are the players to go for, especially ones to target for the double game week. So I did not want to make a decision in haste and quickly transfer out Reece James and just get any player in place of him. The best replacements, obviously, guys, looking at there can be 2 aspects to this. So one, you can just go simply with some like for like replacement with Cucurella. So if James would have a double game week, so if you want a Chelsea player for the upcoming double game week, then obviously you can go with Cucurella, or a possible double game week. You can go with Cucurella. You can think about Azpilicueta as well. Obviously I like Cucurella pick better, but none of those are very inspiring picks because, unless Chilwell was back, I don't see any attacking defenders from this Chelsea team. Cucurella is also tucking back in, playing as the 3rd centre back when Chelsea are attacking, so it's not very inspiring. I think he's has created 1 chance or something like that in the last 5 or 6 game weeks. I think 0 shots on target or something. I mean, just absolutely, in the attacking sense, Cucurella is not doing that much. So in place of James, obviously, so you can think about, if you don't have an Arsenal defender, you can go for Ben White. If you want an Arsenal defender with a goal threat, or you can say more of a goal threat, you can think about Gabriel as well, Gabriel Magalhaes. You can think about Sven Botman if you want a cheap 4.4 million defender. You can think about Newcastle's Sven Botman. If you want a Newcastle defender except Trippier with a little bit more attacking threat, you can go for Schär as well, Fabian Schär. I think he has a little bit more to his game as compared to Sven Botman. And other than that, obviously, you can think about one of like Luke Shaw. I think there's lots of people going for Luke Shaw or thinking about Luke Shaw. If you see on Twitter, people are just absolutely going for Luke Shaw here. See, I really like the option of Diogo Dalot from Manchester United, and today it has been rumored that he is back in training. So I don't think it's going to be long before Diogo Dalot is back in the United team. And if you can wait for 1 more game week, there's the option of going for Diogo Dalot as well. I mean, if you want to go for Shaw this game week, it definitely makes sense to me, because United might also have a possible double game week in game week 20. So, there's like permutations and combinations. There's too many things to kind of say and for you to register. So I'll just name the players which I've discussed. From Newcastle, I've discussed Botman and Shearer. From United, I've discussed obviously Luke Shaw. Diego Dalot is not back yet, so I'm not gonna say his name. From Arsenal, Gabriel Magalhaes and Ben White. From City, some people are talking about Akanji, some people are talking about Laporte, Nathan Ake, John Stones. Honestly, there's so many options at centre back for Manchester City. We're still not talking about Diaz, because he's injured or something. So basically, I would not go for any of the City options. I'm not sure which one plays. I'm not even sure about how much Kyle Walker now plays. The only defender which I like from City is Cancelo, and which should be out of your grasp. If you have the money, you can upgrade Reece James to Robertson as well. He's looked really good against against Aston Villa, Robertson. So you can think about going for Robertson as well. So Robertson, Botman, Fabian Schär, Luke Shaw, Cucurella, and Ben White and Gabriel. So these should be the options that you really look at, and consider to replace Reece James. So hopefully, guys, I addressed. Now I'm gonna come back and read your comments and answer your queries. Hopefully that should address some of your doubts. You can think about Perisic as well. Some people are considering about Perisic. The problem is Spurs don't have the best of fixtures coming up, so that's the reason why I didn't mention Perisic. But if you kind of like the idea of having a really attacking player as your defender, then Perisic is the one to go for, right? Alrighty, guys. So hopefully that addressed one of the main points of today's stream. And if you still have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them. Right, so let's now go and answer the question which was asked by Roland, and then I'll come back and answer the rest of the questions as well. So he asked, sell Wilson for Mitrovic. Honestly, I don't see a reason why not. But Roland, you have to be wary that Mitrovic is on 4 yellow cards. If in case Mitrovic gets a yellow card, Mitrovic is going to be suspended for the double game week. The reason why you might be buying him, but if you're willing to take that risk, I see the upside with that move. If you're not willing to take that risk, then you have to, you can sell Wilson for somebody like Kai Havertz as well, who also has a double game week coming up and also has a good fixture against Nottingham Forest as well. So you have to consider the upside and downside of owning Mitrovic as well, whether you're ready to accept that he might get a yellow card. If you accept that fact, then definitely I think that's a good option to go for, because personally Wilson was ill and I don't think he's going to be playing against Leeds. That's just what I personally feel from Eddie Howe's press conference, but I don't know how much to believe Eddie Howe from his press conferences. He doesn't give too much away at all, right? Right, Michael says, hi Viz, which is better, transfer James to Azpilicueta or Wilson to Mitrovic? Honestly, Michael, if I was you, I would transfer out Wilson to Mitrovic, and then, possibly James to, I would hold off the James transfer and do it next week, with more information about, by watching the games. Because with Mitrovic, I think we already have enough information and we know how he plays. Are you tempted to start Andreas over Martial, says Testimony? I was, but the kind of FPL manager I am, I always like to play it a little bit safe. So that's the reason I'm going to start with Martial. But I see where you're coming from. Southampton are not in a good place in the moment, not kept too many clean sheets in the league, and Andreas is looking good. And especially if he was on the field when the penalty was awarded to Fulham. He would have taken the penalty as well, but unfortunately he wasn't on the field when the penalty was won. So I see the appeal with Andreas, but for me, the type of manager I am, I'm gonna play Martial. Havertz plays Nottingham Forest. I agree, totally agree. I think it's a good option, and he has a double game week as well. Jugs. So Abu Talib says Azpilicueta, Dunk, Shaw, or Perisic. Out of these, I'd say Shaw. Luke Shaw. Abhijit says Kepa 2, Ward was playing, I was busy. Oh my god, Abhijit, that's absolutely horrible, bro. Having Martinelli and Kepa on the bench, it's just, and that's so unfortunate. Feel bad for you, bro. Alex says James to Castagna. Already have Shaw, Trippier, Cancelo, Bueno. and rotates well with Shaw and Trippier from 90. You want to go with Castagna, my friend? You can. The problem is, this transfer should not be made in this game week. I don't see the point of making this transfer in this game because you're not going to play Castagna against Liverpool, you know. So I think you can hold this transfer off and get more information while you make this move. That is something which you need to consider, in my opinion, my friend. Rafa says, "Hi bro, will you not do any transfer? What about James?" Yes, this week I might not make any transfer, my friend. And I'm going to keep James and make 2 transfers next game week, maybe 3, who knows. But for this game week, I'm not going to be transferring out James. I'm just going to keep him on my bench. I think I have enough cover with Ben White, so I just put White in my team and put James on the bench. MT says bench 1, Martinelli, Martial, Rashford or Almiron. Come on, my friend. It's just, there's no point that, like, you've got such a strong team that you have to bench one of them. I mean, honestly, I think it has to be, if you have to bench one of them, it has to be from Martinelli or Martial. I would not bench Rashford or Almiron, you know, based on their fixtures and the form they are in. I'd say I would not bench Rashford or Almiron. So you have to decide between Martinelli and Martial. It's a difficult one. I can't make a call. I would like hate to be in a position in which I need to bench one of these. Trossard to Mount. Abhijit, if you want, you can do it. Yes, I mean, Mount does have a double game week coming up and has a good fixture against Nottingham Forest, but you have to be wary that Mount, I think he is not getting too many attacking returns. You know, I think it was his first attacking return a first goal after I think 6 or 7 games for Chelsea. So you have to be wary about that, bro. FPL Jack says, if Nunes messes up again tonight, I'll definitely move him on for Havertz. Yes, I mean, at least you'll have more information to make this move, right? That's all I really care for, is that when you make a decision, it has to be an informed decision, my friend. So all I really think that you should kind of be wary about, you know. Just a second, guys. So Samir says, can't wait for the template to be altered. Samir, the template is a template because of the reason it won't be altered, unless something dramatic happens. The template keeps on evolving over the season, and you just have to stay with it, in my opinion, because the expected ownership of some of these players is absolutely high. You know, even if we make our own teams based on the knowledge, you won't go very far away from the template. 75% to 80% players remain the same, you know. Bipin says, hey Wiz, which 3 would you go for among Trippier, Laporte, Shaw, Gabriel? I would go with Trippier. Let's see, I would play Trippier and Shaw, and you have to choose between Laporte and Gabriel. In my opinion, you can kind of play Gabriel because I'm not sure how much certain Laporte is for starting. Actually, what you can do is you can if we go to Twitter and see the predictions by the Manchester City fans itself, you know, you'll see that starting odds, like 60 to 70% fans think he's going to start, or that's what they've predicted. Actually, just yeah, there you go. So if you see here, Laporte, so 91% of the fans are saying Laporte is going to start. 9% are saying Ake. I think that they've updated. 60% think Akanji is going to start. So they're not sure between Ake, Akanji. So who's going to start at centre back? Stones. All right. So 59% think Stones is going to start. 9% think Ake is going to start. 60% think Akanji is going to start, but 91% think Laporte's going to start. If that is the case, I think it's better to go with Laporte. I think Brighton away is a much more difficult game than Everton. So see, based on these predictions, I personally feel that you should go with Laporte. I haven't had to consider this because I don't own Laporte, but if 91% of the fans from the forums really think that he's going to start, I would trust them. I would go with Laporte. So MT says, thanks for your advice. You're always welcome, my friend. Faz says, is Almiron must have? I still don't have him. See, Faz, to be honest with you, there is no player in this FPL that you must really own, right? There's no such players in FPL that you must own. So it's just totally up to you which player you want. But I think at his price range, at this price bracket, I think Almiron is a desirable player. 5.9 million for a player who's getting double-digit returns, like 15, 10, 10, 12, 8, 6, 8. I mean, this guy hasn't blanked in 6 game weeks. If you go back, he's just blanked once since game week 9. Just once since game week 9. That's how consistent he's been. I don't see the point of not owning him. As I always say, there's no player in FPL who's essential, my friend. None at all. Alex says, why not this game week, but in 19 when Trippier has Arsenal, Castagna has Fulham, and then Shaw has City and Arsenal in 21 where Castagna. Yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely, totally agree with that you can go with Castagna. Castagna is an alright option. Obviously, the problem with Leicester City, you already know the problem with Leicester City is that Leicester is, not good defensively. They started to play well, and then I think World Cup came at a wrong time for them. And as they came back, the first, they got really badly beaten by Newcastle. The goals which they conceded, especially the goal which Almiron scored, it was absolutely like a knife through butter, And now they're gonna play Liverpool. I don't see things getting any easier for them. So although Castagna in isolation might seem to be a good option, Leicester at this moment in time are not a team playing with any amount of confidence. So you have to consider that as well, So you can weigh your options and you can make a decision when you want to kind of, when you want to make this move. That's for you to consider. Bipin says thanks, Wiz. Bipin, you're always welcome, bro. Thank you so much for joining the stream. So guys, I think the comments are really dried up. Honestly, there's not much to talk about today. I could, there was a last stream when we had to decide our draft back from the World Cup. There was like too many doubts and too many questions in our minds, right? This week, especially for me, I didn't have to give too much thought at all to my FPL team. It picked automatically. The only decision for me was to whether I would transfer out James this game week or should I transfer him out in the next game week. And I made a decision that I would transfer him out next game week because I would want more information. I'll watch one more round of games, which gives me kind of more information about which teams to target, for example, Bournemouth didn't play well. Leicester didn't play well. Bournemouth could have conceded so many more goals to United. It was unbelievable the way Martial missed those chances, and even I think Rashford, Bruno, all of them, they missed so many chances. Honestly, United could have scored like 7-8 goals that day. And Bournemouth looked really bad. Leicester looked bad, and Newcastle looked really good. And so, see, this is how you gather information. That is how you kind of build up to make your transfer moves with the information that you get. Alex says, do you not think that De Bruyne will be rested this week with short turnaround and tough upcoming fixtures? Alex, see, obviously he can be rested. When you pick a City player, you pick a City player knowing that there is a chance for his rotation. I honestly say that, so if I have De Bruyne, I know he can be rotated. If I have Haaland in my team, I think he can be rotated. Anybody in the City team can be rotated at this moment in time. So this is the risk we are willing to take because they are so good. Once they play, they'll give you points. Everton at home is such a good fixture. And I did not pick De Bruyne, especially for this game week. And in hindsight, as I already said, I wanted to get Salah. At the end of the stream, I thought about getting Salah as well. There was like still 7-8 minutes to go and I was about to get Salah in my team, but the servers crashed. So I had to stick with Kevin De Bruyne. And I'm totally fine with my decision. I don't want to kind of... See, what you don't want to do, guys, is... For example, I'll give you an example from what I do in what people tend to do in stocks. I've recently started, started studying about stocks, starting investing a little bit in stocks. So what people do is they'll see a stock going up, or they feel that a stock is going to go up, and then they'll buy it, right? Let us say they were considering 3 stocks to buy and they buy one out of the 3 which they feel is the better one, right? And then what happens is, as soon as the market opens, the stock which they did not buy, it starts going upwards, and the one which they did buy, it is kind of standing still or not moving at all. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna sell, or it starts falling, right? They sell that one and they go for the one which is actually rising, and what happens is they're gonna miss that move. They're gonna take a loss in the first stock, and when they buy the second one, it is the most horrible time to buy it, because as soon as they buy, it's gonna start falling as well. So for example, for those people who got Salah in game week 17, in Salah in game week 17, they got his 12 points, and the Kevin De Bruyne owners got 2 points. Now people are what people are going to do, they're going to sell Kevin De Bruyne and they're going to get Salah, right? I agree that Salah might get points against Leicester, but you don't want to miss a haul from Kevin De Bruyne as well. You can never say that Kevin De Bruyne is not going to get points, right? He's such a good player, he is going to get points. So you don't want to miss a haul from Kevin De Bruyne. That's all I want to say, So don't change your players. For example, I see people picking their team in game week 17, and now they're kind of thinking, should I transfer out Martial for Mitrovic? Should I transfer out like Kevin De Bruyne to Salah? Should I so when you pick a team, guys, you always pick a team for at least 3, 4, 5 game weeks on the horizon, and you cannot chop and change all the time. You get one free transfer every week. It is really, really precious. Just have to understand that. I hope you understand the analogy, by the way. So Jug says, why Cancelo didn't start in 16, and why did he play in midfield, if I'm not mistaken? Cancelo, I think he was just rested. I feel that Pep thought they could easily win the game without Cancelo, and I think he brought him on to give him some match sharpness, give him some fitness, and I think he's going to start in the coming games. Honestly, I feel Cancelo is the only defender which I can rely on to start most of the games for City. Not Ake, not Akanji, not Laporte, not John Stones, not Kyle Walker. There's too many permutations and combinations there. I think Cancelo is the only one which you can realistically actually own from Manchester City. Amit says James to Bueno, Greenwood to Mitrovic for a -4, or James to Azpilicueta, or save the transfer. See, Amit, you already know what my opinion on that is, what I'm doing with my team. I'm just putting James on the bench. With more information, I'm going to make this move. See, but you have to understand that I have the luxury. Of having 1.7 million in the bank. So I can kind of take 0.1 million hit on James in case he drops in price, right? Which I think he's going to. But it is not for everybody. I know some people who already have a low team value and the players which they want to get, or they want to save some money. So you have to move on James. So you have to decide what you want to do and what are your priorities. For me, information has the first priority. Team value is always second for me. Sylvester says, hey Wiz, any other captain other option than Haaland? Is it risky to go for Nunes or Kane cap? I don't think it's a risk to go for a Kane cap. I think Kane captain is a perfectly good option. I think Salah is a perfectly good option as well. Salah is a very good option. I mean, against Leicester team which conceded 3 goals to Newcastle at home. I mean, why wouldn't you think about captaining Salah? I think Salah makes perfect sense to me. So definitely Sylvester, you can go with Salah. You can definitely go with Kane as well. I mean, Aston Villa were totally, like Liverpool could have scored so many more goals if Darwin Núñez was clinical that day, right? Apex says plays Andreas or Trossard. Oh, man, this is such a tough question. Honestly, you can consider playing Andreas, my friend. The problem with Trossard, Apex, is Trossard is a streaky player. Generally, once he starts playing well in a game, he can go on and get those big hauls. That's the problem with Trossard. Otherwise, in this game against Southampton, I can definitely see where you're coming from and thinking about playing Andreas. I think it's touch and go, bro. You can play Andreas. If you're really feeling like playing Andreas, you can, take a risk. You can. Hey Todd, I hope you're doing well. Todd says, hey Wiz, listening while driving home from holiday. Good luck everyone. Thank you so much, Todd, and good luck to you as well. I hope you have had a good holiday, bro. Usman says you missed my question. Usman, I'm sorry, I didn't see the question. I still don't see the question. Anyways, let's just read the question here. He says, is Darwin going to start today? Yes, I think Darwin is going to start today. From all the leaks that we've had on Twitter, they all say that Darwin is going to start today. Apex, I think that is much better. Just bench Wilson for Andreas. I think that is better in my opinion, my friend. That way we won't have to kind of think about the possibility of Trossard getting a haul. Although being an Arsenal fan, I really hope that Trossard can stay quiet. As an Arsenal fan, I'm hoping, with Moises Caicedo injured, McAllister still not back from the Argentine, still not back in the team, in the playing 11, still hopeful that Arsenal can do well against Brighton. I'm really scared. Brighton are kind of a boogie team for an Arsenal. Always do well against us, those Brighton lads. Trossard or Shaw on the bench? Jasper, out of those two, I think you kind of have to play Trossard, my friend. Attacking player always over the defensive player. That's the rule of FPL. Just we always pick the attacking player over the defensive. I think Trossard has the potential of a haul. The ceiling for Shaw, I think, isn't as high as for Trossard. If he can get a hat trick against one of the best teams, you have to kind of pick Trossard, bro. That's a given. Michael says, hey Wiz, pick 4 out of 5. I can try, my friend. He says Rashford, Andreas, Salah, Almiron. Rashford, Andreas, Salah, Almiron, Martinelli. I have to pick 4, right? I'd bench Andreas, my friend. If you already have Mitrovic, Michael, I think it makes it much easier for you to bench Andreas Pereira. I think it's a FOMO of people of not owning any Fulham player against a weak team like Southampton, which is making them kind of want to go for Andreas Pereira. But if you have Mitrovic, I think without any doubt you should bench Andreas. I think I think all the others have a much higher ceiling. They play for better teams, and they have a higher ceiling as well, in my opinion. So play Mitrovic, play Rashford, Salah, Almiron, and Martinelli, bro. Abhijit says he didn't. Darwin starts. Thank you so much, Abhijit. Sanjay, hey Sanjay, I hope you're doing well. Hey Matea, welcome to the stream, bro. Nice to have you here. Abhijit says, so I want to go for Mount over Trossard, but I'd have to take a hit. Abhijit, the thing is, in my personal opinion, it's like, let's just hang on. Let me just open Fantasy Football Fix and see Mount's stats against the last game. Let me open his last game stats. Just give me a second here. So we have to go for Chelsea. And we have to go for Mount. So, yeah. So let's go for game week 17, right? Let's see. So he played 90 minutes. He got 2 bonus points. He scored 10 points. Absolutely fine. Let's see where he played. What was his average position? See, this was his average position. Far away from the box. Look at his touches. Look at his touches. He had 1 touch in the box, and that was also in an irrelevant position, right? So let's just look at it a little bit more in detail. 1 goal, obviously scored a goal, but the XG for that goal was 0.1. I mean, it was from outside the box. Yes, he curled the ball. He got a good pass, and he curled the ball, and yeah, he scored a goal, but I mean, it was a very low XG shot. He had 2 shots, 2 on target. Let's see where he took his shots from. You can see, this is the goal he scored. This is from where he scored his goal. This was the other shot he took, and XG was 0.04. In my personal opinion, I think Mount, you have to be wary. Let me show you Mount's stats a little bit. Let's go back to game week 10. Let's see what Mount has done. So yeah, That's it's all the shots he's taken since game week 10, or even from the from the start of the game week. So see, as you can see, earlier he was much more active, playing much better, much closer in the box. Since game week 10 or even 11, you can see very few shots in the box. Other than that, no shots. I think it's how many shots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 shots in the box since game week 10 for Mason Mount. So it's not like you should not have a FOMO of not owning Mason Mount. Yes, you want to get him for the double game week. You can't find any other good midfielder in the same price range. Obviously, you can go for Mason Mount, but you have to kind of think about it properly. Like just because he scored a goal should not like deter us from kind of thinking properly. If I had to own one player from Chelsea, it would be Kai Havertz. The way he was playing in the last game week, I think he's the better pick as compared to Mason Mount. But obviously the position is different. So I hopefully answered the question. Matea says, are you logged? Yes, I'm logged, Matea. Michael says, thanks. You're welcome, Michael. Always welcome, bro. Max says, get Havertz in for Darwin. Mac, you want to get Havertz? That's totally fine. But if I was you, I would wait for one more game week. I think Darwin has a good match against Leicester. Leicester conceded 3 goals against Newcastle. And Darwin was really good against Aston Villa, contrary to what people would have you believe. Yes, he missed 4 big chances, but come on, I mean, he also got 4 chances. He's getting into goal scoring positions. I think he's a haul waiting to happen. It's only that whether the haul comes before our patience runs out. That's the only thing with Darwin Núñez. I have no doubt that he's going to have a big haul in FPL in the coming game weeks. Dom Chi says, evening mate, good evening my friend. He says, since James is out, I only have Bueno and Patterson to replace him. Should I bring in Shaw, share, or roll the transfer and play Bueno? Honestly, Domji, if I was in your place, I would possibly make the transfer, because I don't like the subs which you have in to kind of play in place of him. In my personal opinion, I think it's better to make the transfer. And yeah, I think Shaw and Shearer are both good options. If you want to bring in Shaw, you should know that he might have a possible double game week in game week 20, but then he might also blank in game week 25. So knowing that, you should make this transfer. If you want to get in Shaw, you should know he might double in 20 and might blank in 25. I think Shaw is the better option. Sanjay says, got unlucky with Wilson, swapped him for Mitrovic. I think that's the right move for all the people who own Mitrovic. Guys, I hope he doesn't get a yellow card. Or you should hope that he doesn't get a yellow card. That's all I want to say. Because, in a double game week, I mean, it would be the worst thing for you to happen is that he doesn't get a yellow card in game week 18. He goes into the game week 19 double game week with 4 yellows, and then he gets a yellow card after 1 match, and he misses the second game. That's the worst thing that can happen. That's all I want to say, right? So, just be wary about all these things, guys. You should know this. You should be wary about that. You're welcome, Abhijit. Always welcome, bro. M. Ghasemi says, start Botman or Martinelli. No doubts in my mind, my friend. Start Martinelli. Femo says, Femo, thanks for subscribing, by the way, my friend. So he says, James to Shaw to play him for White, or Wilson to Mitrovic to play him for Martial. To be honest with you, I think James to Shaw makes more sense to me, because if you get Mitrovic, you'll have to play him in place of Martial, and I think it's better to address the problem which exists, because at this moment in time, Wilson is not that big of a problem as compared to James. James is out for a longer term. Wilson is obviously just ill, and he's going to be back soon, and the thing is, I think Shaw is a better option than White, as Mitrovic is to Martial. So I'd say James to Shaw, in my opinion. Start Martial or Botman? If I was you, I'd start Martial. I always start the attacking player, guys. the logic is very simple, guys. I always say the same thing. When you have the dilemma of an attacking player or a defensive player, unless the defensive player is somebody like Ivan Perisic, who's essentially just playing on the wing all game, I always start the attacking player. What are your thoughts on KDB versus Salah? Matea, I think all the people who picked Salah for the Game Week 17 drafts, I think they made a good choice. And they just booked a transfer because in the double game week you possibly want to transfer out Salah and get KDB or somebody like Phil Foden. We, the ones who picked KDB, we went for to save a transfer long-term view, to have KDB for the double game week, which is going to be coming up for Manchester City. In hindsight, that might not be a very prudent decision because Salah scored 12 points against Salah scored 12 points in the last game week, but against Aston Villa. The thing is, these decisions are 50-50s, but if you went with Salah, you stick with him. If you went with KDB, you stick with him. I simply don't think that you should kind of switch between these two, because this was a decision which was not meant to be for one game week. That's all I kind of have. I think about this one, right? Sanjay says, Wiz, one swap for you, mate. KDB for Salah. We had this chat last game week. I totally agree with you, Sanjay. Last game week it was the right move. This game week I don't feel it is the right move, because last game week you already know I wanted to make this move, right? You were on the stream, you knew I wanted to make the move. I was about to make the move, but at the last moment the servers crashed and I decided against it. And now when I decided against it, I've made my choice. I stick with my choice. I don't want to waste two transfers, first taking out KDB for Salah and then bringing back KDB again in game week 20 for the double game week. That's just not my style of playing. When I make a decision, I have to stick with my decision. I hope the variance plays into my hands, like in the last game week it went against me. I hope in one of these coming game weeks it will play into my hands as well. These things have to even out. The universe, like Thanos says, it likes balance. I'm just hoping for that balance to tilt in my favor once, just for once. Yeah. Bench Andreas or Martial? Mac, as you can already see, I've benched Andreas. I'm gonna play Martial, my friend. But I see where you're coming from. But I can't find the courage to kind of bench Martial and play Andreas. Knowing that United created so many chances against Bournemouth, and Wolves are currently not a good team as well. So United definitely gonna create some chances against them, and I'm willing to play Martial over Andreas. That's just me. That's just my personal opinion. So, but it's not the end of the world if you want to play Andreas over him. If any of you own Mitrovic, then that would be the best option, and then you can easily bench Andreas. Kasemi says, start Martial or Martinelli. Whoa, this is a difficult one, bro. I would play Martinelli over Martial. It's a difficult one, Kasemi. The thing is, maybe I'm biased because I'm an Arsenal fan, I think. But the thing is, I'm afraid that Martial could easily get taken off after 60-65 minutes. If United are not playing well, if Martial's not playing well, I don't think he's indispensable. I think it's easily Eric Ten Hag takes him off for somebody and puts Rashford on as a striker and then puts Garnacho on the wing. So I think Martial has a replacement, and Martinelli does not have a replacement per se in the Arsenal team. I mean, Arsenal don't even have a left winger in their team. So that's an issue which Arsenal have at this moment in time, which is why they want to sign Mikhailo Mudryk. Yeah, in my opinion, I'd play Martinelli. He'd play for the full 90 minutes at least. That's what I hope. That's what I think. Wilson out for who? Joseph, if you can stomach the fact that Mitrovic is on 4 yellow cards, I think it's a good move. See, guys, I'll address this once and for all. If you own Callum Wilson, I think there's 2 options or 3 options which you can think about. The first one, which I really like, is Kai Havertz. I really like Kai Havertz. The way he played against in the last game, I personally feel it was a perfectly good. It was amazing performance. Kai Havertz against Bournemouth. It was like you know, it was an amazing performance. The touches he took, the goal he scored, and even the chances he created, Kai Havertz was really good. And he has a game against Nottingham Forest this game week, and he has a double game week coming up as well. So Kai Havertz is a really good option. My second best option would be Mitrovic. Knowing that he's on 4 yellow cards, that is the reason I'm saying he's my second best option. He also has a double game week coming up. He has a game against Southampton as well. If you want to go outside that, you can think about somebody like Eddie Nketiah as well. You know, he is an option definitely. You know, it's not as good as Mitrovic and Havertz, but he also costs less, you know, as compared to these two. And he's the only striker which Arsenal have at the moment, or the only fit striker that Arsenal have, and he scored a really good goal as well. So you can think about these three options. If you still want to go cheaper, like even below that, you can have somebody like Dominic Solanke, but you know, I personally wouldn't go there. Max says, cheers. You're welcome, my friend. Always welcome. Any early teams? Amit, the only early team news that we have is that the Liverpool team remains unchanged from the last game week, bro. Gasemi says, yes, I agree. Cheers, bro. Sanjay says, bhel or pani puri. Bro, always pani puri. In this part of the world, we call them golgappe, you know. And always pani puri, bro. It's amazing. Love it. Gasemi says, shall I start Kukurea or Botman? I think Kukurea. I think he's still more attacking than Botman is. I think Kukurea and Botman are having a competition of who's less attacking, you know, because none of them have really got. Actually, you know, just for the sake of it, I'll just show you here. Gonna be very interesting. Both of those players, they don't have much attacking intention at all, you know. Let me show you. It's interesting. Compare these two players. I mean, Botman rarely shows up in the box. It's just weird. When did Kukurea join Chelsea? Let's just go from game week 10. Who cares? So you can see Botman has had 7 shots in the box as compared to 1 shot for Kukurea. You know, I think it's just game week 10. Actually, you know what? Let's just. The thing is, I don't want to compare the same for Kukurea, because when he was in Brighton, he was playing a very different role. So you can see 3 shots for Kukurea, 1 shot for Kukurea, and 3 for Botman since game week 10. You know, if we go from game week 1, which I don't think is fair, because a different role for Kukurea, which you can see here. You know, doesn't show us in which game week he took this shot. So it's hard for me to tell. But as you can see, I mean, Botman, obviously, I think all these shots which he's taking are from corners or from set pieces. It doesn't go ahead in any other, you know. Obviously, the average position of Kukurea is higher up. Botman is a central defender. Let's just see here. So expected goals per 90 minutes, both same. You know, no goals scored. Shots similar. In my opinion, you should pick the player which you feel has the highest or the better defense, because I don't think any of these players are going to get too many attacking returns at all. Kukurea, I think, is better in a creative sense. He creates more chances than Botman, but technically speaking, I don't think both of them are gonna get many attacking returns over the season anyway. So yeah, let's get back. Your views on the new Liverpool signing, says FPL Jug. My friend, I think that Cody Gakpo is a really good player. I really rate him highly. I watched him play for PSV Eindhoven. And even for Netherlands, he's pretty good player. He played against Arsenal, Cody Gakpo, and he was a pain for the Arsenal defense to deal with. He's got skills, he's got ball control, and he's got speed. I think he's going to. The only question is whether he's going to adapt properly to the Premier League or not. And I think the value which they've given to him is 8 million. I think I really like that. The price point is really good. The only question is whether he's going to be able to adapt to the kind of nuances and the physicality of the Premier League. If he does, I think he's going to be a very, very good signing for Liverpool. And all the noise was that United are going to sign him, and at the last minute, just like in the Luis Diaz deal, Tottenham were going to sign him from Porto, and Liverpool jumped in last minute and stole the player from Tottenham, Luis Diaz. The same way I think they did with United. They jumped in last minute. Van Dijk made a call to Gakpo, and all the things got involved, and Cody Gakpo became a Liverpool player. Really good signing, honestly. Tanlim says, hey Wiz, Mitrovic fit to start? I think so, my friend. He might not be fully fit, as his manager Marco Silva said. They're managing him every day. He's not fully fit, but he plays through the pain and he plays through the injury. So in my opinion, he is going to play, my friend. Even if he's not fully fit, as long as he can, So there was no clear indication from Marco Silva as to whether Mitrovic is going to play or not. But I feel he's going to play. Mitrovic likely to increase to 7.1. Mitrovic has gone up in price 2 times. The thing is, one of the cheap strikers which is really good is Mitrovic, and I would have gone for him. See, 1, he was flagged. 2, he was on 4 yellow cards, which was the reason I went for Martial. I would have happily gone for Mitrovic had he not been on 4 yellows and had he not been flagged, and had Marco Silva not been saying that he's not sure whether he's going to start or not. So Mitrovic is a great option, my friend. If you have the bottle to own him with 4 yellows and risk him, I think the risk reward is good here. If Chilwell plays, Cucurella will have reduced minutes. I don't think Chilwell is going to play anytime soon, my friend. I think the next 2 or 3, 4 game weeks, I don't think Chilwell is going to play. He's still training on his own, or he's not participating in full training at the moment, Chilwell. Gakpo will be eased in, but by that time Diaz will be back. I mean, having somebody like Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Salah, I had put Nunez into the mix. I think Liverpool have a really, really great young attacking side. All these players are really young. Gakpo, Luis Diaz, and Nunez. I think if Klopp can develop them, I think it's gonna be a great team, honestly. Siang says, did you make the transfer? No, I did not make any transfers, my friend. I just put Ben White into my team and I put James on the bench. Next week, hopefully, I'm going to make a transfer. See, guys, for example, let us say this week, if I had gone for Luke Shaw or Cucurella, and next week I had known that Diogo Dalot is going to come back for the double game week for United, when United have a double game week, I think Diogo Dalot is the great option, and he's cheaper than Luke Shaw. And he's more attacking, and I like that option more. So just by waiting to make my transfer, it gives me more options, and that's the reason I'm kind of waiting up on who to replace Reece James with. With 1.7 million in the bank, I don't think it's a pressing issue for me, to be honest with you. If I lose 0.1 million, then so be it. That's all I thought about that. So I think it's like 10 minutes to deadline, guys. Unfortunately, we don't have a Smelly Wab to kind of give us the countdown timer of his usual, 10 minutes to deadline timer. So guys, please lock your teams. As you already know, the FPL servers, although I don't think they're going to crash today, the reason is there are no much 50-50 decisions to be made, which people are waiting at the last minute, are waiting for the news to make these decisions, and that is the reason why the servers are holding up. As soon as, for example, we get a leak, if we get a leak that Salah is not going to start, for example guys, not really, just for example. So if we get a leak that Salah is not going to start, the servers are going to go down right this minute. FPL servers are absolutely horrible, guys. Horrible. It's just what I want to say. Next game week deadline is on Monday. Yep, next game week deadline is on Monday. I'm gonna be with you again for the deadline stream in about 2 or 3 days, bro. Sanjay says 9 minutes to deadline. So there you go, guys. 9 minutes to deadline. For all of you listening to the stream, please do set your teams. These FPL servers are highly, highly unreliable. I have to say this. Too early, but captain for game week 19. Honestly, it's just personally, if you own somebody like Rashford, I think it makes it so much easier to kind of captain him. For some people who own Kai Havertz, you can definitely think about, because Chelsea's got a double game week, right? You can definitely go with Kai Havertz. Obviously, if you're in the mood, if you're feeling a little bit risk taking, you have Mitrovic. You can think about captaining Mitrovic as well. I mean, he has a game week against Leicester and Chelsea. Personally, I think Kai Havertz could be a good option. But if you want to captain a single game week player, I think Rashford or one of the United boys could be good ones as well. Jiret says nobody's born cool except for the people who like the stream. Thank you so much, bro. Really appreciate it. And thank you for being on the stream, guys. Please do hit like and subscribe to the channel. Sanjay says, for example, not really. Let's say KDB will blank and Vici says servers will take a hit with KDB to Salah transfers. Yeah, absolutely. The problem is, as soon as the traffic will increase, the volume of people coming to the servers will increase. The servers will start absolutely glitching all over the place. And that is the reason I didn't make my KDB to Salah transfer. Just play Gabriel or Cucurella. For this game week, I personally think Cucurella has a better option for a clean sheet. Gabriel has more attacking threat, but Brighton, I feel, are going to score against Arsenal. They always do. They're kind of a boogie team for Arsenal at this moment in time. So, you just have to take it with a pinch of salt. Gabriel has more attacking threat, but less chance of a clean sheet. Cucurella has more chance of a clean sheet, but less attacking threat. You have to weigh up the options. FPL Sam says, funny thing about the Liverpool leaks that have been around all day is that they are wrong, but nothing that will affect anyone's FPL team, so no stress. Whoa, really? So there's this guy, Team News and Ticks. Actually, let me go and take you to Twitter and show you. There's always something going on, right, guys? And there you go. I don't want to see Fabrizio Romano. I think it's better for me to just... There you go. Funny thing about the Liverpool leaks is that they have been around all day, that they are wrong, but nothing that will affect anyone's FPL, so no stress. I mean, it could be something like, for example, Fabinho is not starting and Henderson is starting in place of Fabinho, or, Thiago and Henderson are starting. Maybe Harvey Elliott is going to start in place of Oxlade-Chamberlain, so that could be the news. Otherwise, if it's not going to affect our FPL, we're not concerned, guys. Salah's gonna start. Nunez is gonna start. Robertson's gonna start. Trent Alexander-Arnold's gonna start. And beyond that, nobody's concerned about anybody else. Maybe some of you might have Alisson, but I should not be opening my personal Twitter right on the stream for everybody to see. But honestly, guys, got nothing to hide. I'm a wizard. So 5 minutes to deadline, my friends. Please do lock your teams. Who's on penalties? Salah or KDB? Salah. KDB is not on penalties. If Haaland is playing, there's no chance KDB takes a penalty. Even if Mahrez is on the pitch, Mahrez takes penalties ahead of KDB, so no KDB. KDB is just vibes, my friend. Just a great player. Assisting potential. Possibly a goal or two, obviously Salah is a better player. There's no question, no doubt in my mind. In terms of attacking threat, Salah is obviously is better than KDB, but it's just the way it is. Selected him for the double game week, gonna stick with him, bro. Just let me refresh my team, by the way. Let's see if servers have crashed again or still holding up. No, they're gonna hold up, guys. No news today. FPL people at the FPL towers are happy that their servers are not going to crash today. Just for the sake of it, let's just put James ahead of it. He's in my team for one more game week. He's going to go out anyway. So guys, do lock your teams. Once the deadline is over, we'll do quick predictions and then we can end the stream. This is interesting by Team News and Ticks. I mean, some of the very reliable accounts, they've leaked Team News, and very interesting that Team News and Ticks says that the leaks have been wrong. But let's see. By the way, guys, if you see my team, I've not put vice captain on Kevin De Bruyne. Although this is this is like very like this is a highly unlikely of anything happening to the game, but you never should kind of put captaincy and vice captaincy on the same team's players. Sometimes some untoward incidents happen and unplanned things happen. You always should have captaincy and vice captaincy on two different players. This is just an update for you guys. So yeah, 3 minutes to deadline, no questions. This is how FPL deadline stream should be, not the panic trumpet tenor that we always most of the time we do here. This is how I like my my FPL streams. Cool, chilled out, and me about to fall asleep on the stream. This is how I like it. Yeah. So guys, my team is set. Nothing to do with the team. I already refreshed my team, and just for the sake of it, I'm gonna take a screenshot of my team and put it on Twitter. So guys, if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do follow me on Twitter, because by the way, my followers have been kind of stagnant since I don't know when. Been on 3,000 followers for like ever. So guys, please do follow me on Twitter on WizFPL if you can. Lee says, why no Salah in your team? Lee, I was gonna have Salah in my team. When I was finalizing my team last game week on the deadline stream, in the last 10 minutes I had a change of heart to move from KDB to Salah. But as soon as I tried to change, as I was gonna change KDB to Salah, the servers crashed, and I got just scared out of the move. Not because of my decision making, but because of the FPL servers. Refusion, I did not make any transfer, my friend. No transfers. Will Wilson start? George, I think it's highly unlikely, my friend. But I do not want to trust Eddie Howe, But if you have Andreas Pereira in your team, I think it's fine if you put Andreas in the team as well, because Wilson might come on for like 10-15 minutes, and then you might, it would not be the ideal situation to be in. So I think it's better to kind of put Andreas Pereira in your team. If you want, you can transfer out Wilson for somebody like Kai Havertz or Mitrovic as well. Kai Havertz has a double game week next game week, so you can think about transferring him out as well. But you should make an informed decision. But the deadline is over. The time is over, my friend. George, you were really late to the stream, bro. We had lots and lots of time to chat about FPL today. No panic stations, no really big issues to deal with except Wilson and James, and I discussed at length about these two issues. So I hope you set your team, by the way, my friend. I honestly hope you did. No trumpets, says Nehal. Yeah, no trumpets. Gasemi says, thanks for the stream. Good luck, guys. You're welcome, Gasemi, my friend. Thank you so much for being on the stream for the entire duration. Hey, Nehal, I hope you're doing well, bro. Sanjay says, what's your rank? Sanjay, it's back to around 600k, 600,000. It was better before game week 16. But when game week 16 happened, right the game week before the World Cup, I got 30 points. It was absolutely horrible. 30 points, and the rank plummeted. But slowly gonna make up. Honestly, there's not much between 600k and 100k. Just remember that for all of you who are close to what rank I am at, or close to even 1 million, there's like 50 points between you and the guys in top 100k. So don't lose heart. The overall rank is very condensed this year. Just focus on getting good players, making good decisions. Keep sticking to the process, and don't change your style again and again. Then you will never ever get the good side of variance. You'll always keep falling on the bad side of variance. For luck to work, guys, You have to stand in one place, you know. That's the thing, you know. If you keep on moving, then even luck cannot help you. Good luck, everyone, says Zara. Good luck to you as well, Zara. George says, decided to roll with both Wilson and James. Would rather keep 2 transfers in case Mitro gets the yellow. Well, George, that's an informed decision. I think that's a good decision. I don't believe in making last-minute transfers at all. Sometimes it's just too risky, because the player you transfer in sometimes goes on the bench, and you know, and it was the last minute anyway. So good luck to you for this game week. I hope you have a good one, bro. Mitro or Havertz? Sanjay, I personally prefer Havertz, my friend, just because that Mitro's on 4 yellows. Nehal says 1.7 million here. Season is just beginning for me. Absolutely, Nehal. I agree with that. Don't worry about the ranks, guys. 50 points and you'll be right in top 100k. You just need to have one better game week than the other managers, and for the rest of the game weeks, you just have to stay within touching distance. You know, so it says, you know, if you heard of the Underdog song, you know, it's just that for the people who are the champions, I don't care at all. You know, I'll be waiting in the shadows for the day that you fall, or something like that. You know, we're just waiting in the shadows. Just stay in the touching distance, you know, and wait for the people to fall. One game week and you can make up the ranks. That's all there is to it, guys. We're waiting in the shadows till the day that they fall, and then we pray, guys. Then we go on the hunt. Alright, Nehal says, also you need to put yourself in the positions to be lucky for your style. Absolutely, Nehal. I just can't agree with you more. I always say these things on my streams, guys. If you change your style, you cannot blame luck then, you know. If you want to be on the good side of variance, at least follow one style, guys. Don't jump around too much, you know. Need KDB and Salah to both fire this game week. I mean, Nehal, people are like, you know, people like me are kind of weighing up whether we want Salah or KDB to do well. You're having both. That's just, you know, taking the luck out of the equation, bro. And I jump out of 1 million. Totally agree with that. And yeah, I like your team. You know, not many people have the bottle to kind of take Cancelo out of the team, Nehal. Kayur says, who will be the vice captain? Vice captain. For me, I put my vice captain on Martinelli. Honestly, for me, it doesn't matter, because I think Haaland's going to start anyway. Honestly, KU, the deadline is over, bro. FPL Sam says Zaha and Foden hat-tricks. This game we will go from 500 to 500. Man, I hope so. I'm not even sure how much the expected or the effective ownership is for Foden. But yeah, definitely, if Zaha can do something, then definitely that would be a good rank jump for you. I mean, a player which people haven't considered a lot, Said Benrahma. I think he's slowly starting to do well. He's starting from West Ham for all the games. He's 5.6 million. It's a really good differential. I mean, you know, for somebody who wants to make up the ranks, I think Said Benrahma can do well. Sanjay says Salah will keep on giving us greens. Thank you for your streamers. Sanjay, good luck, my friend. I hope you get a green arrow as well. I totally hope that. Neil says I wish you all the luck. Good luck, quiz. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, guys. I really hope you all do well. This is the last game week of 2022, and I hope it ends well for everybody. Obviously, not all the 11 million players playing FPL can have green arrows, because if everybody has greens, then nobody's gonna get reds, and that is impossible, right? There has to be at least one player who gets a red arrow, right? But anyways, let's just do the predictions. I hope you can, if you want me to do the predictions, I have some time on my hands, but before that I have to take a drink of water, guys. Talk too much. There you go. Right. The throat is reinvigorated for the upcoming predictions. So let's do a quick one, and then we can bring the stream to an end. There you go. I hope you can all see it. Yeah. So guys, the first game, West Ham versus Brentford. I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Uh, West Ham were not really good against Arsenal. For even in the first half when West Ham were leading, they got a very kind of sketchy penalty against Arsenal, Jared Bowen, but and Benrahma tucked it away nicely. But they weren't good against Arsenal. But I think at their home they'll play better. It'll be a 2-2 draw between West Ham and Brentford. I feel. I don't think anybody's gonna win this game. I predict a 2-2 draw between West Ham and Brentford. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Liverpool versus Leicester. I feel, guys, I have a feeling, that this is not going to be a very high scoring game. The reason which I feel this is not going to be a very high scoring game, Liverpool versus Leicester, is that Liverpool have a very short turnaround time as for all the other teams. You know that there's another game be coming up on Monday, right? So I think if Liverpool score a quick 2 or 3 goals, I think they're going to take their foot off the gas. So I think it's going to be something of the order of the scoreline of 3-1 to Liverpool or something of the sort. The one goal which Leicester might score, I feel is going to come from somebody like Tielemans or Vardy. But we're not here to predict who's going to score the goals, but the scoreline. So I'd say 3-1 to Liverpool. That's what I feel. Bepin says 1-1. FPL Sam says 2-1 to Brentford. Sanjay says not true. Rank 1 gets a grey and everyone gets a green, so we're all joint number 1. True. I love that. Right? West Ham 1, Brentford 1. So you see, everybody predicts a draw. I predicted a 2-2 draw, but you guys predicted a 1-1 draw. But yeah, so draw it is. FPL Sam says Liverpool 2 and Leicester 1. So he predicts even a much more tighter game than I did. I said 3-1 and he says 2-1. I honestly feel that this game is going to be a tight one. I think Brendan Rodgers' job is on the line here. It's struggling at this moment in time in Leicester. I thought he turned a corner when he played. Leicester played really well against Manchester City, and they had to rely on a Kevin De Bruyne free kick to win the game. But I guess not. Leicester are still a shambles. Mind you, there's lots of injuries as well. Wolves versus Manchester United. See, this game is very interesting, and this game is very hard for me to call. I feel United can win this game. United are going to win this game. United have been playing really well in the past few game weeks. It's that under Lopetegui, their new coach, it's hard for me to see how, predict how Wolves are going to play. I'm just going to assume that Wolves are going to score 1 goal and United are going to score, let's say 3 goals, But Wolves have historically always been a stingy team ever since they've got promoted to the Premier League. So I feel it's just kind of a feeling that it's hard to score goals against Wolves. They don't concede too many, although they don't score too many at all as well. So I'd say 1-3 to United, but I would love for you guys to make a prediction on this game. Iverson becomes first choice after this game. Yeah, that's a possibility, Nehal. But you don't have to worry, right? You've got both the keepers. Nehal says 3-1 to Liverpool. Bepin says 0-2 to Manchester United and Wolves, right? So it's the same deficit of 2 goals, but you feel that Wolves are not going to score. FPL Sam says 1-3. Nehal says 1-2. Lopetegui will turn them around, says Nehal. I hope so. I like Wolves. I mean, a good team. I like their fans as well. A good set of fans they've got, and there's many teams I would love to go down before Wolves. So let's just leave it at that. Wolves. So Bournemouth versus Palace. I'm not sure what to make of this game. Palace got 2 red cards in that last game. Mitchell, I think it was one, and the other one was I don't honestly remember who it was, but two red cards for Palace. But I feel at home Bournemouth are better as compared to away from home. Palace, on the other hand, they're not as good as away from home. So I'd say a 2-2 draw between them, although we should expect Crystal Palace to win this game if Zaha plays well. But Zaha plays well in 1 game out of 4 or 5. So it depends which game. If it's going to be that game, then obviously Palace is going to win. But let me predict a 2-2 draw. Let me see what you think about this game though. Bipin says 2-1. So he says Bournemouth's gonna win. FPL Sam says Bournemouth 2-3. Zaha. Obviously he wants Zaha to score a hat-trick, and then he's written Zaha. Nice one, bro. Nehal says 2-2. So he's got the same prediction as me. I always notice that me and Nehal, we always have the same kind of predictions. Tomkin and Mitchell Reds. Yep. Gehi is expected back. True, he got injured right in the last game week, and he's expected back. So yeah, before the World Cup he got injured. Gehi. Yeah, that's true. Moving on, guys. Fulham versus Southampton. I feel that Fulham gonna win this game. It can be a scoreline as like a 2-1. I don't think Fulham are gonna absolutely run riot or something like that. I feel that Southampton are, going to try and come and be a little bit of a, they know what state they are in. They're struggling, Southampton, at the moment. So, they're going to try and defend, in my opinion. But Fulham if Mitrovic plays, obviously he's going to have enough even to play against a defensive low block. It's easier for Mitrovic because he's so good in the air. So 2-1 to Fulham. I'd love to read your predictions on this one. Nehal says 2-0 to Fulham 2-0. FPL Sam says 1-1. Bipin says 1-1 and a very cheeky Mitrovic yellow to go with it. Man, that see, honestly, I wouldn't mind if Mitrovic scores a goal and then gets a yellow card for the celebration by taking his shirt off. That would be the ideal situation for us non-owners. And then, all the people who own Mitrovic are also not gonna be angry with us for celebrating the Mitrovic yellow card. So Mitrovic, let Mitrovic score a goal and then celebrate by taking his shirt off. And then he remembers that, oh my god, I'm on 4 yellows. Then he tries to put it back on. But by the time he puts it back on, the referee books him for taking his shirt off. That would be absolutely ideal, right? Sorry, Mitrovic owners. This is just wishful thinking on a non-owner's part. Andres gonna assist both goals from corners. Andres is definitely a very improved player at Fulham. I think he's got better. He's been given more responsibility, and I think he's playing well. Manchester City versus Everton, guys. You already know what's gonna happen in this game. No need to discuss. 3-0, 4-0. Maybe Everton can score 1 goal and ruin the Cancelo clean sheet. Like City, they always concede 1 goal, a scrappy nonsense set piece corner. Like in the last game they conceded. I don't know, but let's say City gonna score 4 goals. I think that's the prediction. Nehal says 4-1 as well. Bipin says 4-0. Mitrovic score late goal, celebrates, gets yellow, then VAR overturns the goal. Yeah, I don't want to be that cruel. I feel as good as it sounds, as good as too good to be true, right? But yeah. Guys, by the way, if my voice sounds sleepy, it is because of the fact that I have been very sleepy and still am. Yeah. For some reason today I am, very tired. Newcastle versus Leeds, guys. I think the result of this game is already clear to us. I think Newcastle gonna win this game. I honestly, even though I own Trippier and Almiron, being an Arsenal fan, I'm really, really scared of how Eddie Howe's got these players playing. I think Newcastle are playing above their potential. I mean, as individuals, if you look at their players, they don't have that much quality to be number 2 in the league or number 3 in the league, But as a unit, they just look imperious. I mean, they just the way they're playing, the way Eddie Howe's got them playing, it's absolutely amazing. Much respect for Eddie Howe, but being an Arsenal fan, I'm a little bit scared, and I want them to lose some points so that before they play us next week, we have some cushion. And the chasing pack, I never expected the chasing pack to be Newcastle United. I guess money gives you confidence, huh? Even the bad players or the average players can turn into good players. Let's see what you think. FPL Sam says 4-0. Bipin says 2-1 to Newcastle. Yeah, I think Newcastle will win this game, to be honest with you. As much as an Arsenal fan, I can do wishful thinking as much as I want, but technically speaking, I know that Newcastle will win this game. So Bipin says 2-1. FPL Sam says 2-2 as well. I would love that. I would love Crescencio Somerville to run the entire length of the field and score a goal. That would be absolutely amazing. And the goal which equalizes in the 93rd minute, so that there's no chance of Newcastle to come back. And as an Arsenal fan, I would be happy, very happy. So in my personal opinion, I think Newcastle gonna win this game. Easily gonna win this game. They might even keep a clean sheet. Leeds are missing Bamford a lot, much more than they're missing Rafinha, who's having a torrid time at Barcelona. Brighton versus Arsenal. Guys, I don't want to predict this one. Me being an Arsenal fan and Brighton being our boogie team, I'm just hoping that McAllister and Moises Caicedo being out, it helps us to win this game. You know, the lack of Gabriel Jesus in this team and the way we struggled, or not struggled, but struggled to score a goal in the first half against West Ham has me really worried about the Arsenal fixtures coming up, because the fixtures are not getting easier, guys. Newcastle, United, Tottenham, like really tough games coming up for Arsenal, and we don't have a striker. Eddie Nketiah is fine, but it's not the same quality as Gabriel Jesus. So I'd love for you to predict this one. I don't want to predict myself. I would love for you guys to predict it. So Bipin says 2-2 Arsenal and Brighton. FPL Sam says 0-2 Arsenal. White scoring his first goal versus the old team written in the stars. I would be absolutely over the moon. I mean, I won't even care about the FPL team. I mean, I wouldn't mind if goddamn, you know, like Emil Smith Rowe comes off the bench and scores a goal. I would be the happiest. And you know, somebody who nobody of us owns gets the assist. Maybe Thomas Partey gets the assist. I wouldn't mind. Just want Arsenal to win this game. The next one, and guys, remember, I know that we're not favorites for the league, even though we're league leaders. We've been leading the league through the World Cup and all these weeks. I know that we're not the favorites, not by a close margin. I know Manchester City are the favorites, but you know, let a guy dream. Please just let us dream. That's all I want. Spurs versus Aston Villa. I think Spurs gonna win this game easily. I think Harry Kane's gonna be among the scores. 2-0 to Spurs, I think. You know, that's, I think, I don't think Arsenal are gonna score a goal unless, you know, maybe Watkins can get 10 of his shots or 1 of his shots out of the 10 shots on target. So possibly Aston Villa can score 1 goal, but I don't feel that they're gonna win this game or even get close. I think 2-0 to Spurs in this game. Let's see what you have to say about this one. FPL Sam says 3-1. Bipin says 2-1. So all of you expect Aston Villa to score a goal at least. We're gonna win. It's now or never this season. Amit, I really hope we do, my friend. I've been waiting for this day ever since 2003. 2007 was our chance, but we blew it. You know, absolutely blew it. The Eduardo injury was horrible. Anyways, Fabinho out, Elliott starts. There you go, right? I told you guys. So it had to be a decision which doesn't affect anybody. So Team News and Text was right that there is a change from the last Liverpool lineup. So Harvey Elliott starts and Fabinho is out. Sanjay says league finishing positions: number 1 City, 2 Arsenal, 3 Liverpool, 4 United. Sanjay, it's hard for me to predict at this moment in time, honestly, my friend. Very hard for me to predict. You know, I don't know how Newcastle going to finish the season, what's going to happen with Tottenham, what's going to happen with Chelsea. Like, so many things up in the air. I'm right at this moment in time, the only thing I'm concerned about is who's going to end up being number 1. You know, I hope against hope that if, you know, this could be the season of miracles for Arsenal. I hope. I know it's not gonna be, but I can hope. The last game, guys, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. I think Chelsea gonna win this game. See, Nottingham Forest are really good on their home, like in their home ground as compared to their away from home. So it's not gonna be the same kind of performance by them. So I'd say, you know, kind of a 3-1 to Chelsea or a 2-1 to Chelsea kind of a performance, more like, you know. Don't think Chelsea gonna keep a clean sheet in this one either. But Bipin seems to think that Chelsea gonna keep a clean sheet. FPL Sam seems to think Chelsea gonna keep a clean sheet, and FPL Sam also thinks that that Chelsea gonna win, but just by 1 goal. Sanjay says I'm predicting it for you. Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Sanjay. I'd love it if Arsenal finishes first, but yeah, I know it's a practical prediction. I totally get it. You know, Arsenal finishing second would also be a great result for us. I'm telling you this because you know we haven't been in the Champions League for the last 5 years, 6 years. You know, it's horrible, and playing in the Europa League, and even last year we were not even in the Europa League. So you know, it's just after Arsene Wenger left, it has been tough for the Arsenal fans, and getting Arteta and the way Arteta is making Arsenal play right now, I think it's absolutely amazing. We just got a young team and playing well. Anyways, guys, so that's all with the predictions. You already know the team news. The team of the Liverpool, the Liverpool team is the same, except that Fabinho is out and Harvey Elliott starts. And let me just go back to my team here. So, guys, this being the last stream of the year, before I sign off for today, I'd like to wish you all a very happy new year. I hope you enjoy and hope you have a great time with your friends. I hope you make beautiful new year resolutions, and you know, stick with them for as long as possible, and make your resolutions based on realism and not on idealism, because nothing in this world is ideal, you know, so we should always kind of try to be realistic, and that's the only way with which we can kind of progress. You know, when we try to be idealistic, it is a step too far to take. You know, you can't become a new human being just with a change of a date. That's not how life is, or that's not how simple life is. So hope your new year resolutions are very realistic and you can stick with them. Just take one small step at a time, and you'll definitely get to your destination. You know, a giant leap is definitely not required. But anyways, guys, I hope you take care. You have a great time with your friends and your family. You enjoyed with your loved ones. I hope you have a great FPL game week and a great FPL season. And thank you so much for everyone who attended your deadline streams, or spent the last hour of your deadlines with me. It was an absolute honor to spend my deadline streams with you guys, and thank you so much for supporting the channel once again, guys. And I will see you for the new deadline stream in the new year. Till then, take care. FPL Visit signing off, and may the arrows be green, guys. Happy New Year. Bye bye.